it's this thing I've grown aware of in my own spirit about just staying in tune with just that economy of how much space am I creating in my world for the Spirit of God to occupy. And I just find him more than ever putting his finger on things that, like, it's not sinful, but it's not helpful.
Wow.
And it's like, it's not in the Bible. It doesn't say thou shalt not listen to this, or thou shalt not watch that. But I'm just finding more than ever, the same way I have, like, with my body. 3 or 4 years ago, I was probably 50 pounds heavier than I am right now. I just made some shifts and that happened because of, like, 8 years ago, I became senior pastor overnight and, ate to cope or something. I don't know. But I had to make some health changes, and, like, so my diet kind of narrowed in, and the amount of exercise and all that stuff. And I found my soul to be very similar, and probably more so than ever in this season, like God just putting his finger on, hey, that's not going to be healthy or helpful for you. And so I'm asking you to give me that. And so, that's how it's working out for me. I don't know what a specific example looks like, but I'm interested to actually hear, are you sensing some of the same things?
Yeah. I'm seeing a couple trends in my own life. I think there's a real pull to escapism. Like, if I'm honest, like, as in my personal leadership, there's maybe more opportunities and a bit more stress, but then also, as I sense the times, there's a part of me that goes, I hear what you're saying. I'm like, I'm all in, bro. And then I'm doing the quick audit of my life, and I'm like, but there's a real pull just to veg out, just to cope. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
Whether it's after a preach or it's after, or aware of, like, hey, I've got this hard meeting tomorrow and I just don't even want to think about it. And so I just feel that real tension, and just really grateful for you even speaking to it. Obviously there's no sense that you're like, man, I got this nailed, but I feel like one of the interesting things, again, there's things we don't talk about. We can't talk about revival. It's too idealistic. We can't talk about giving because, we got to keep that private. We can't talk about holiness because we don't want anyone to feel judged. But then as a result, I'm saying, well, I need to see the leaders that are saying, no, we can't afford to veg out. And I've been really appreciative of a couple leaders saying, hey, I want to speak into, and there's obviously a resurgence of like a slowed down spirituality. Yeah. And that's really good for our emotional health. And I also believe that'll pave the way to an increase in intercession and other things. So I'm actually really in the season of auditing my life and quite aware of where I'm feeling maybe not like I'm hitting a home run. Yeah. And I think that's that zone, though. I think the Lord wants us to be in, is like, if he just has permission to call into question things, and if you're willing to kind of lay those down, I think that escapism thing, I think that's the battle for most pastors, is like, how do I recover? And, the COVID just stole my last escape. I'm a pretty big Raptors fan. Oh yeah. Like, I haven't missed a game. I haven't missed, like, watching a game. Like, that's my one thing that I give myself permission to just, at an unhealthy level, obsess about, and even that's gone now. So I'm like, well, I guess it's just me and Jesus from here on out. So, dude, it's forced Lent. It's forced Lent. Everything taken away. That's a brilliant way to say it. It is. And I think it's an opportunity. Like, we can either, like, fight it or fund it. Right. And kind of push back against it and find something else. If you want to find something else to escape to, you'll find it. Tell me about, it's whether it's Sunday night. How many times are you preaching on Sunday these days? Well, when we weren't doing live, when it wasn't online, if you're in person. I preach on Saturday night, and that's like our capture. And then I preach twice on Sunday. That was all set to change until the COVID-19. We were just about to launch a bunch of new services, and we're going to move our Saturday night to Thursday night, and that was going to be our capture. And then I was going to be, in my mind, I was going to be free to go to different sites and preach live or whatever, or just not preach. I don't know if we'll do that. I might end up preaching just as much or more. But it has been up until now 3 times a week, Saturday night and then twice on Sunday. So when you're doing awesome, like, this is an ideal Sunday afternoon or an ideal Monday morning, what's the rhythm? You're trying to go, hey, I've just done this huge spiritual, physical, emotional, mental energy spend. And you're dealing with all the regret of what you should have said, all the highs of what God did. I never have those. What's best case scenario, dude, Sunday night or Monday morning when you're hitting a home run? That's a roller coaster, as you know, and as all the pastors probably tuned in know. Like, and sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it.
You know, like you
Mhm,
could be on a
mhm.
Sunday afternoon and done everything right and still just slip into this funk of self, like questioning yourself or loving yourself or like whatever it is, or self and being entitled, all the things.
Yeah.
If I'm fine, if I'm most prone to temptation in any way, it's Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, 100%. So I generally try to stay fairly active and avoid, like I might take like a nap while the NFL or golf's on, with my kids playing, you know, around me Sunday afternoon. I play basketball every Sunday night. Basketball is a huge piece of my life, just from a rhythm standpoint. It's my one connection to the real world. As far as like guys who aren't Christians, that's my mission field. Those are the relationships I'm building. So I play basketball like every Sunday night. So that occupies me
Yeah.
in what would be a generally not a good mental space to be in,
Yeah.
Sunday nights if I'm prone to anything. So